Yeah, it's, I mean, that's where like your ADD kicks in out there, or you start, I mean, heck, sometimes you just start having too much fun and you don't think about it anymore. You're like, oh, I'm going pretty good and I'm having fun. Like, I mean, and it's not necessarily a bad thing to be having too much fun that you're not catching every single bump. I mean, it's if it's a race maybe, but on any given day, it's not so bad to be having so much fun that you forget and you're kind of just having fun. But yeah, I mean, it's hard. You got to kind of remember, I'm in a race. I gotta catch. Yeah, I mean, nutrition is a big part of keeping your focus. Water, sugar and caffeine. Those are kind of the big things for nutrition. It helps you, keep that mental focus. Red Bull, it gives you wings, vitalizes your mind or whatever. It's, there's a reason why it's got sugar, caffeine, and water. Those are the things that kind of keep you going. So, yeah, I mean, that's one. And then the other is, usually there's someone in front of you or, at least around you to keep you focused, which is kind of nice because usually the two of you aren't kind of zoning out at the same time. At least one of you's hammering. So if you keep an eye on the guy next to you, if he's hammering and he's starting to pull away, you're like, oh, shoot, wait, what am I doing? Oh, I got to get going again. So it's, keep aware of those kind of surroundings and keep that, friendly competition of, the guys next to you. Like, always try and beat the guy next to you.
My thing with the Hawaii Kai Run is it's like Rob said, it's really like local knowledge. Like if you can find a line that works for you, I think that's a good way to do it. I tend to like the inside line, and I'm on my like little quest to find the best line. But it's like Jared probably said, if you can learn how to ride bumps, you're going to be 100 times better than if you can't ride bumps. So the thing that I found the most helpful is when I first started, I would just really sort of keep a steady cadence the whole time. But I think what's really important to do, and Jared may have told you this already, but when you know that there's a bump coming, you kind of have to pick up your cadence and just do whatever you have to do to get into the bump. A lot of people worry, like, is my stroke looking okay or whatever. At that point, just don't worry what your stroke looks like. Just get more paddles in the water and just try to get as much speed as possible and get into the bump in front of you. And then once you're in the bump, a lot of people want to just sort of like stand there too, but it's really important to kind of find that spot on your board that works so that you can stay in the bump where you are, and then more importantly, kind of look ahead of you and try to see where the little waves are breaking and then try to link it to another bump. Yeah, so it takes a little bit of practice, and I'm still learning myself, but it's fun to try. But I think for the most part, the main thing is only try to paddle for that bump when your board is pointing down, because it's like Edmund Piston always says, if your board is pointing up, you're just going to fight it uphill. So once that bump behind you sort of passes you by, get ready and then wait till your board sort of points down, and then just really kind of go for it, and then it'll get you into that bump. As far as Hawaii Kai goes, it's really good to know which parts of the run what the run is gonna do, because it has a very distinct personality. I mean, you can know from like here to Kahala, it's gonna be really good, and there's gonna be waves at your back, and then from about Kahala to Black Point, it gets a little wishy-washy. And then it gets a little better again after that, and then around the Diamond Head corner you have the upwind thing. So it's really good to sort of know what you're in for, and know that, say you get in between Kahala and Black Point and you're just like trudging through and you're like, oh, this is no fun. It will get better, you just have to get around the point. So just kind of mentally stay with it until that point, and then it'll get good again. Sort of prepare yourself for the upwind part at the end. So those are my Hawaii Kai words of wisdom.